Welcome back to another episode of Perfect Faraday. I'm your host, George Merchant, here with my co-host, or I could be the co-host, he can be the host.
Yeah, however it works. Jeremiah Evans.
Today we're going to talk about managing expectations. It has been my recent experience over the last few years that people's expectations don't line up with reality and what they can achieve or what they do achieve or oh gosh, this goes across this a lot of things: their relationships, their professional lives, everything like that. You know, so when we enter into the workforce, we have expectations, kind of what it is that we're expecting to happen. So I feel like, my opinion on the matter, what it's for, whatever it's worth. I've only been doing this for over 20 years now. Is that people are crashing hard into the reality of what the workforce is or the amount of effort that they put in versus what they're expected to be paid. I think that we're at a point in history now where it's the reality of it is come crashing into what we see we're worth, or maybe on the relationship side, like what it is that our expectations of the other person, and how they should act or how they should talk or how they should be in the relationship. And I've noticed like all kinds of very disturbing statistics.
Yeah.
Very disturbing statistics, and I think it's because we're I'm not going to pick on the youngest generation, right? I don't think it's fair. I don't think we should just pick on the youngest people, because I think it started back before our time, right? And I think what's happened is that over time, like parents, society, however you want to say it or whatever, is that people have become like more protective, I guess, more motherly, and they want the government to be more motherly and handle stuff for them, or
The government be motherly?
yeah.
I've literally never heard anybody try to
You
say
don't
that.
you don't think the government can be more motherly?
Oh, yeah, because they're so nurturing.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
So, my biggest expectation in life is to get a Mr. Goodbar that doesn't have a rotten peanut in it.
Oh man. Yeah, I love Mr. Good bars, but there's always that one bite, right?
You know?
Yeah, you just hope it's only one bite. See, that's how I manage my expectations. I'm like, there will be a rotten peanut in this bar, and it's in there somewhere.
You just hope there's not two.
I just exactly, exactly,
Is that
yes, like only one, and that's how you manage your expectations. You're like, you know what? Most of this bar is going to be great, right?
Yeah.
But there's going to be a rotten peanut in there. So you should kind of go through life with that sort of philosophy or whatever. Is like
the Mr. Goodbar philosophy? Yeah,
Yes.
That's what I live by. So,
well, but if you put in more effort, you'll get more good peanuts.
or you could just buy another brand of candy bar that doesn't have rotten peanuts.
So what you're saying is people should get divorced more.
Life hack.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think it's important. I think it's important because we're at this point now where every Mr. Good bar we buy has to be perfect, right? It can't have a rotten peanut in it,
Yeah.
or we're going to sue the company, right?
Yeah.
We're going to cancel them.
I
So-
hadn't thought of that.
So I mean, come on, man. We're going around this.
Well, if any high-profile lawyers out there, maybe we can talk.
Yeah.
Was it Hershey's?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
We can make a better peanut bar. So, well, Eminem does it right, because they just do one Mr. Good bar at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just the peanut M&Ms. That's like my wife's favorite candy, by the way. But so our managing of expectations, I think over the years we've really made a mistake in how we've lied to ourselves, lied to our kids, lied to the next generation and stuff. And so I'm not going to blame like the youngest people or whatever if they smack into the reality of the world and stuff like that. I mean, it's gallows humor, so to speak, I guess, when you're like, they're gonna. I mean, I remember hearing it for years. Oh, those millennials, when they get out in the workforce and everything like that, and I'm like, yeah, look how the country is right now. Maybe
Gallows humor, like
Yeah.
you're on your last
yeah,
leg.
yeah,
So,
exactly,
okay.
yeah, gallows humor. So you're and every veteran has like gallows humor. So, but like we think about it and we mocked it, and people just said, oh, when those millennials get into the workforce and everything, and I'm like, dude, these people will be running everything, right? Like, eventually, like them and the next generation. And if we don't try to do something about getting people in touch at a younger age with the reality of the world and the realities of the world, then what's going to happen is things are going to start to fall apart.
Oh my gosh, I got it. We could start the manager expectations political party.
Yes!
Who's in it for?
Yes! Oh my gosh, perfect. All right, man, trademarked here on Perfect Faraday. We are going to start the manage your expectations party. Manage the
MY.
the MYEP. We're going to call it because you got the
Yep.
GOP and whatever,
Yeah.
and the DNC or whatever. Well, is there any way we could make it like 3 letters?
Yeah. What would be our mascot? Like a malnourished, like.
The My Party, MYE.
Yeah.
Manage your expectations. Yeah.
Yeah. What would be our mascot? Like a malnourished.
Oh God, the mascot. That's a good idea. Okay, so the mascot of the Manage Your Expectations party. Well, we'd get sued if we tried to do the peanut,
Yeah.
your rotten peanut bar.
Mm.
Mr. Good Bar. Let me think. I got it.
Oh my gosh. Winnie the Pooh is like expired. We could be like Eeyore,
Dude! You're on fire today, bro. Perfect, man. Perfect. You just flipped a coin twice and landed on its edge 2 times in a row, man. This is our future. A political party. Just to manage your expectations. Eeyore. Well, the donkey's already taken, though.
Well, I know, but it could be like a funny, take on,
Yeah.
on the Democrats.
Okay, what if we did like Eeyore with a trunk? So it's kind of like a parody
little
of
bit of
both.
both, yeah.
Yeah, manage your
And like
expectations.
it's like a little
Yes.
where he puts it on, And
Yes.
he's like, not that it matters anyway.
Yeah. Your political. Could you imagine the debates? Could you imagine the debates? Dude be like,
Gun control is super important. What do you think? Well, I think we need to be realistic here.
okay.
I don't know. Maybe that wasn't the best example.
But, yeah. Do you support Syrian bombing? No, but not that it matters anyways. Deep State's gonna do what Deep State's gonna do. That would be a great political party, man. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
That is perfect. That is perfect. I don't know why I hadn't thought of that.
Well, that's why I dig, I guess.
Do you know? I mean, think about it too, man. Think about it for a minute. Like you're going to have so many people that would join on that party, because so many people's attitudes nowadays is just like, oh, life sucks. The humor. I mean, there's a lot of dark, like suicide type humor or whatever amongst the younger generation and stuff. And I'm like, that's great, man.
Yeah.
Get them a political party, and you might get a few of them out to vote. Then they go out to vote, and
And start just having some expectations.
dude, no. You gotta understand. The whole political message would be, not that it matters anyway. Get out and vote.
I'm telling
Not
you.
that it matters anyway.
Make America great again. Not that it matters anyway.
We're just gonna bomb some Middle Eastern country with the money anyway. Oh, that's dark. Oh, that's dark, man. Woo. But yeah, dude, managing expectations, man. I mean, we were told in college, excuse me, we were told in high school, we were told when we were that age, that's when it really started, when we're in our 40s now, so 90s and everything, that was really, really heavily when it started, was you had to go to college to be successful. You need to go out there and get that sheepskin and prove to the world that you can do something and everything like that. We were told to go to college. We were told to go straight to college. You went straight to college,
Yeah.
but you didn't have a great father like I did.
No.
Yeah.
I don't,
Yeah.
That's okay. I don't know where you're going with that.
Well, mine was, truthful enough to let me know that I was just too stupid for that journey.
In my case, I was probably just too lazy and nobody let me know.
But in my case, also, mom was a liar,
yeah.
because moms are.
She told you could be anything.
I can do anything,
you could
right?
be a pretty princess
Yes,
if you
I could
wanted
do.
to.
I could do anything. I mean, think about it for a second. I mean, my wife says like, "Oh yes, you are sexier than Thor," or "Do what you want," or "I'm fine." Yeah, when she says I'm fine, she's never fine. Or, "Oh, this face cream really does work." And that's why fathers are important.
Yes.
To manage expectations. Moms build us up, and dad's like sitting down there with like the reality,
Yeah.
blowgun, just hitting those,
Well, and
unrealistic expectation balloons that are lifting us up. We're just happy, and then
since
dad's
I know your dad so well. Like I know the true purpose of a dad is not just to knock your expectations down a notch. It's like to take you about 3 down, so that maybe you climb your way up to 1 above.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom would say something like, "Oh, honey, you're so handsome." Dad'd be over there, this, like, "Boy looks like a honey badger with hemorrhoids." What the hell does that even mean?
They're already angry enough, right?
Yeah. "You were so smart and wise for your age."
Speaking of which, I was talking to your nephew earlier, and I don't know, we got into the subject of talking about, like, fighting with a bear, like, running away from a bear, and I was, like, positing all sorts of solutions that you could do, and I was like, I would just have a trained bobcat with me, And he's like, "Well, I don't know what else." I'm like, "A honey badger." And he's like, "A honey badger? A honey badger could take out a bear?" I'm like, apparently you haven't seen a honey badger.
Honey badgers are mean.
They'll take him out or die trying.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
Hey, maybe that could be the
you got to
mascot.
manage. You got to manage. No, that's too fierce. No. We got to manage expectations.
No, but it would be like ironic,
Yeah,
It could be like a hipster,
I guess so. But we have to manage those expectations. I mean, I think that's the dual role. You need both the mom and the dad. You because all women lie. I know the internet's probably going to go crazy on that one. All women lie, but it's for a good cause.
Yeah, they don't want to hurt your feelings.
Yeah, they don't want to hurt your feelings, right? So mom would say something like, you're so smart and wise for your age," and dad'd be like, I just saw the boy picking his nose not 5 seconds after scratching his crack. Pretty sure that's how you get pink eye. You know, so there's raising up with those unrealistic expectations, and dad's there going, popping those balloons.
He was just pointing at that big, beautiful brain of his.
Managing expectations. And I man, I'm telling you, I realize now the function and the roles of those, you know, those people in my life so much now that, you know, mom would lift you up and dad would bring you back down to reality, you know, and I'm happy that I had the upbringing that I had. My dad was a character. My mom was uplifting and stuff. So there's something to be said about those roles and I think our upbringing. And now there's families are so much split apart now and everything like that. But there's just I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, a pandemic of perpetual.
What a great word.
Yeah.
That doesn't, you know.
Yeah, that doesn't get used anywhere else.
That doesn't, you know, offer up a potential for canceling.
Yeah,
Cancellation.
yeah. YouTube. I'm not talking about the shot, the jab, the whatever.
So what do you suppose the inoculation for?
Okay, so how do we inoculate against the pandemic of perpetual children? Is to start speaking the truth to them, man. Oh yeah, oh man, I see kids now, and I'm just like, I don't hate them, right? I don't hate them. I'm not angry at them. I feel bad for a lot of the ones that like, they're terrible adults. They're not even close to being at that level of like a functional adult.
You're talking about. You're talking about like 30, 40-year-olds?
To be fair, yeah. I mean, to be fair, yeah. I mean, it goes all the way up into the age range there and stuff, and I see people that of all ages, to be fair, but it is, you know, I see a lot of young people that have a hard time and struggle with where they're supposed to be at in the world.
Well, I think it's annoying. I see people saying you can be anything, and then saying, "Oh, the world's so horrible." You know, don't, like I feel like I see that the duality. You know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this is such a horrible world. You can't succeed, but you can be anything. You know?
Maybe that's what the World Economic Forum's like whole goal is to
really
manage our expectations.
They really just want us to eat crickets, man. I think that.
Well, I think that's part of the managing expectations is they're feeding us that stuff through the media, like you're gonna live in your pod and eat crickets, and
don't tell them how you know, flour is milled. You know, don't let them know that they may be already eating crickets or grasshoppers.
There may be a small amount of the bug matter and chitin already in your.
Yeah, what's that term for it that they're calling it to make it sound less disgusting? I can't remember.
Crichton protein or something like that.
Crichton protein. Michael Crichton.
Yeah, something like that. Something I don't remember. It's something similar to that.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Oh man, I'm. Oh man.
Oh,
we had a good run.
Yeah, I know. We probably just got a strike there for me using a copyrighted 3 notes.
Yeah. Yep. There goes our copyright strike. I think that where we're heading right now, there's comedy in it. I mean, it's funny. I think that we have to kind of laugh at it and mock it and stuff like that, because otherwise we're just gonna be depressed all the time, and I don't want to be that way. I don't want to live that way, and I'm looking at things and I'm saying, you know what? Some of these people are going to learn, some of these people aren't going to learn, and that's okay. Stop telling your kids that they can be anything. Little Timmy is not the next Albert Einstein. He's probably not going to be the president of the United States.
And why would he want to be anyway?
Yeah. I mean, you have to manage their expectations. You got to take the time, you know, to let them know to just go ahead. It's okay to aim low and achieve your goals. Because achieving goals will build one's confidence.
See, I feel like you put that one up there as like, a life goal for me. You're like, this is little 5-year-old, 8-year-old Jeremiah right here.
I wasn't picking on anybody. I wasn't calling nobody out.
There ain't nothing wrong with working at Target.
There's nothing wrong with working at Target. And that's the thing, because I think people need to realize, too, is there's absolutely nothing wrong with insert job here. Like, if you are doing productive work, something that society needs and wants, you're not... I mean, you should be proud that you should be proud of, like, your work ethic. Show up on time.
Yeah.
And put forth your best effort. Whatever it is that you're doing.
And I think it's probably helpful if people don't just tear down somebody for what they do. I mean... You can motivate somebody to be greater than they are, but I don't know if they're happy doing what they're doing. They feel fulfilled. Well, what's the harm in that, as long as they're taken care of?
Oh, man, some of the happiest people I've met have some of the simplest jobs, and I'm like... Maybe there's a correlation there.
Yeah.
I'm not telling people to aim low. I say that in jest, you know what I mean? But I mean, I'm not telling people to aim low, but I am telling people, like, aim above what aim to, like, try to achieve something greater than where you're at, and always be working towards something. But, like, don't get stuck in the mindset that when you walk in on your first day of work, after 3 months, you should be the CEO of the company with the compensation package and the front parking spot and everything like that. That's like, look, like, there's people that have been working there for 20 years or whatever before you ever stepped in the door. They've been working hard and been helping build the company and helping things succeed and stuff like that. You can't walk in the door with the sort of expectations that these people have nowadays.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And I mean, the confidence, the false confidence. I am not going to call out any names. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to call out any names. But the false bravado and the false confidence in a young lady that I talked to blew my absolute mind, man. To confidently state something so utterly incorrect.
Is this somebody I know, or I mean, you don't have to go into details.
You may know them. But the utter confidence to make such a statement of fact off of an opinion blew my mind.
Was this on social media or
no,
like to your face?
No, this was a face-to-face. You can't count social media,
I know,
man.
You don't know the
I think they're all bots, and if they're not bots, they're bots. You get what I'm saying? Like they're either a bot or they're a bot, right? So
there is no in between.
There is no in between. They're either a human bot or they're just a bot.
Or an Autobot.
Yeah, or an Autobot. Exactly. More than meets the eye. So, yeah. So we're stuck, right? We're stuck with the bots online and everything like that. And I'm like, I can't talk to any of these bots, but face to face or whatever. And then that's in the real world. That's what matters. And when you come across one of them, you're like, oh no, the bots got offline. That's not cool. So we're already moving towards Terminator days. We just don't realize it because they've downloaded the programming into their fleshy vessels, and now they walk amongst us.
Yeah.
And so you're going to start seeing more of these as their code downloads to more of their fleshy vessels that walk around, that repeat things that they've heard.
I can't wait till somebody cuts this out as a clip if we ever get big and misquotes you. It's just going to sound like a wackadoo.
They could just play the whole thing.
but let me. So what was it last week? We talked about how a chocolate bar, can help you figure out what's real or not. This week, I'll say a marshmallow can help you with this problem.
Do explain.
You haven't seen that I don't know when they did it. I think it was maybe when we were younger. They didn't do it on us, but delayed gratification. That video
Oh yeah,
where
yeah,
they give the kid a marshmallow.
yeah.
They set it on the desk or whatever, and they say, "Okay, I'm going to leave the room. If you don't eat this within the 2 minutes I'm left, I'll come back with another." And most of the kids would eat it up right away.
Yes.
In my case, I probably would have like grabbed it out of their hand and ate it when I was younger. But
Yes.
yeah, delayed gratification is something I think can help. But I don't know like how you can break through to. Like I feel like that might be something you need to ingrain in somebody at a younger age.
Well, see, that's
'Cause
what.
I did definitely learn it
See, that's
myself,
why.
like,
That's
along the
why
way.
men are important. I'm telling you, fathers and mothers. Okay, carrot and stick.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, here's the marshmallow. Right. Don't touch the marshmallow. I'll give you more marshmallows if you can exhibit self-control. Right.
Yeah.
And then when the kid reaches for the marshmallow, Dad jumps out of the closet with a scary clown face on. I'm gonna steal your soul.
Oh, okay.
And then
it makes sense why you're afraid of clowns.
now you know why I have a fear of clowns, and why I have really good self-control.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that video about the marshmallow thing, so I don't look like just a wackadoo conspiracy theorist.
I'm sure some people listening are probably familiar with that study, that particular study and stuff. They on those same kids
Yeah,
too.
I
They
think it
actually.
was, like they tested better.
Oh yeah, they all tested better.
I can't remember what it came up to. But
And it also correlated with higher rates of success
yeah.
in later on in life. Psychology study.
So
Big
I
study,
just
very
bring that
interesting.
up because like it's always good to have goals. Reel them in, but maybe you hit that point and then you can set the bar higher. But
Well,
I guess in the back of your mind, it isn't terrible to have a way out there goal as long as you
you
realistically can see your path to it, or are okay with not reaching it.
yeah, and you want a certain level of confidence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Everybody out there. So you want a certain level of confidence, and that certain level of confidence, I would say your mom has a big part of.
My mom or just
No,
moms?
just moms.
Oh.
Moms. I'd say
What
has
you got
a.
to say about my mom?
They have a big part of whispering that lie and building that ego a little bit and saying
Worst mom joke ever.
you're so smart, you're so handsome, and Dad has the responsibility of coming in and going, you might be smart enough not to choke yourself to death on a glass of water, but don't think yourself so high that you're gonna do all these things. But people is like, oh, that's so cruel, and it's like, well, I mean, Dad doesn't have to approach it that way, exactly or whatever, but I do highly recommend that way. But what you need is you do need enough confidence that you move forward, right?
Yeah.
So you're not in this state of stuck,
Yeah.
right? Where you're like, I don't even, I'm not gonna even try because I'm not good enough or whatever. You don't want to be in that spot. You want to be moving forward. You want enough confidence to move forward, saying, I can do this. But you also want to be grounded in the reality of the expectations that you're not going to step out of high school making six figures a year, right? And you're not going to step out of college making six figures a year unless you are stepping out of medical school or something of that nature, or you're the relative of a Biden or a Pelosi or a Trump or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Unless you are heir to some sort of riches or whatever, you're not going to step out of any schooling, any college or anything like that, technical schooling, anything like that, and you're not going to instantly be making top pay. You're not going to be coming anywhere close to that because you still got to prove yourself. And people don't understand that. They were kind of fed this false narrative that, hey, go to college, get a degree, and what you'll do is you'll be making a lot of money when you do. So a lot of people got that message like, oh, okay. So a lot of people went in, they did degrees and everything, and I'm not even talking about like liberal arts degrees and stuff. Some people went into technical degrees, and their expectation was they're going to come out and be making top of the money or whatever.
Yeah.
What's the difference between a doctor that what do you call a doctor that made a C in medical school?
A dentist? I don't know.
Doctor.
Oh, yeah.
You still call him a doctor. So, or an engineer or anything like that, right? So you stop and you think about that for a minute, and you're like, okay, not everybody's going to be the best at their thing.
Oh, Dr. Kevorkian.
Or Dr. Comical. He was really bad at his job. That's it. Yeah. If we have a younger audience listening, they will not get that joke.
Yeah, I don't know.
Google it. I'm not going to take the time to explain. So
manage your expectations.
Manage your expectations. Yeah, I'm not going down every rabbit hole. But the whole idea that everybody's gonna like get out of this thing and all of a sudden they're going to be at the top of the game and everything, they're going to be making a bunch of money and everything like that. It's unrealistic. Very, very unrealistic. And the top earners and stuff like that in this country are not even, they don't even follow this path anyway. So I think that was a big bad sell as well to a lot of people. I think that managing your expectations, following what you're good at, figuring out what it is that you're really good at and how you can make that fit and work for you, I think is a message that needs to be told to younger people and to help manage their expectations and stuff.
So what if you find out you're not good at anything?
Well, I mean,
it's probably more like a...
There's a job for everybody.
Fill a void in retail, because
Yeah.
I definitely worked with a lot of people that...
Yeah. There's...
That were probably quite capable of doing things, but,
Well, I'll tell you
but
what.
didn't strive for anything,
I'm going to tell you what. If you can show up to work on time, if you can be consistent, show up to work on time, do the assigned tasks that are given to you as best to your abilities, and have a good attitude, you can make pretty good money. And if you stay at that job, whatever it is you're doing, then you can make pretty good money. But you also have to manage your expectations of what you're going to achieve financially.
Yeah.
So if you are stuck going, okay, I need a new car, I need a $300,000+ home, I need these things or whatever right there. That's the American dream is what to me looks like a mountain of debt. Now you're like, you have to make more. Now you have to do it. But if your expectations are, I want a good relationship with my spouse, or I want a good relationship with my family, I want a good relationship with my friends, I want to make a difference in people's life in a positive way. If those are what you expect out of yourself, it changes the way that you move through life. It changes your expectations.
Any of that's important, you got to work at it. You can't just expect it to just happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, man. And
I guess, too, as far as people that maybe can't afford college right away, go work somewhere. Work for one of these big evil corporations, because a lot of them will pay for your schooling if you just ask about the different programs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even Walmart, I guess I'll say that Walmart, when I worked there, they had programs where people could go to college and pay for it. But then you have to work for them for X amount, but it's usually not like a prison sentence. It's usually like 4 years or that, like in a lot of the industrial stuff that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's and I see a lot more of that benefit being offered nowadays too.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
maybe just expecting somebody to pay off your loan for you, or struggle the whole time.
I think that people also have it in their heads too, because when they're young, they're like, I've got to get through college as early as possible and then get out into the workforce. And that's not the way it was in the past. That was not the way it was in the past for sure, because there was a lot of people that served in the military, would come back, they'd work in a field, and they find out that they really liked it, they had like a passion for it, then they'd go to college because they had a passion for it. It was not straight to college. Like that would like that's more recent in history and stuff. And the only people that really went straight to college, like around our time and before, a lot of those people were because their parents like were usually well off, right?
Yeah.
And they were better off, whatever, so they could go to the Harvards and the Yales and stuff like that. Those were rich people colleges, period. There was nobody outside
Well,
of
I
that.
would love to see, instead of us just forgiving, $500 billion worth of student debts, maybe, I don't know, bring back trade schools, like doing, what is it, like endowments or whatever, maybe like build up some trade schools, or bring some of that back. I think isn't that what helps some other countries excel, like, and like, isn't Germany got pretty strong, like, technical
Yeah,
schools
Germany
and
has a
stuff?
different approach to
Yeah,
things.
where the government actually does kind
Yeah,
of like,
it's a public-private partnership
yeah.
where they
Maybe we
help
could do
their
that instead of
manufacturing sector.
just waving away. Well, it's really not waving away the debt, right?
Yeah,
These student loans that we're erasing, it's got to be paid for by somebody, and it's probably going to be the people that are already working that couldn't go to college.
yeah, exactly. It's being paid by the working class. That man, that's a
Because I know
subject I don't
it's
like.
very specifically Pell Grants, and those are the government like grants.
Hmm.
I know I had a Pell Grant when I was younger for the 2 of the 3 years I was in college. I
Yep.
think.
No, and I mean that. Not to get down the inflationary thing too, but all
Yeah,
the
well, it was like 4,000 a year when I was a kid, or whatever,
yeah,
20 something years ago. Now I think it's probably about $10,000 a year, even at some of the small community colleges and whatnot. So, yeah, I have a whole thought about colleges, and a lot of it's not great, but that's why I wouldn't mind seeing trade schools, because I think a lot of people don't want to sit there and just book learn. They want to be doing.
yeah, exactly. And I like even like on the engineering side or whatever, to be an effective engineer, I I believe the best engineers started with hands-on first. All the greatest engineers I've ever worked with, the really good ones, they had a strong mechanical aptitude, and they're rare. There's a lot of engineers I worked with that are not. They're really not that good. They're really not that good, and you're always like, man, what, this person doesn't know some of the most basic sort of things and everything like that, because it was all done from the perspective in the classroom,
Yeah.
and it wasn't learned like hands on. So a lot of the practical things where you would be like, no, that's not going to work because your pipe's going to burst or whatever, because you just know that from experience. You're just like, oh no, that's not going to work.
So, what was some of the pressures or that you heard from family, friends, whatever, that you need to go to college when you're younger?
Um,
Just that you're going to make more money.
yeah, of course, in school,
Yeah,
I
for
heard
me
that.
it was kind of spelled out too that the reason employers look for that is that they know you can like stick to something that long. But
Yeah, I've heard that too.
that's kind of dumb to me, because
Hmm.
maybe you go work somewhere for 4 to 6 years, and maybe you want to get a better job. Like, that should stand for something, because obviously a lot of college graduates don't have the experience that some of the more technical things they're looking for either. So
Well, the job landscape has changed, and in the job landscape, it used to be where people would be with a company like their whole career, like 20 plus, 20, 30 years and stuff like that.
yeah,
But when manufacturing started getting pulled out of the United States, what ended up happening was is that plants would get shut down, so people would have to go. People would get layoffs. Companies started managing with layoffs. I know one company in particular that was terrible about that.
yeah,
And what that would do to the workforce is it created this, like, because for a long time the workforce was very loyal. I mean, by and far the majority of them, only a few people really moved around much. And on a resume, you'd be like, oh, I see that the longest you've worked anywhere is like 5 years or something like that. That was like a red flag back in the day. It's no longer a red flag at all, because
That's weird. 5 years never should have been like a red flag.
oh, it was. It very
But
much so
yeah, I mean, I
was.
guess it makes sense what you're
Yeah.
saying because yeah, people were more of a career.
Yeah, but it's easily
Heck, back
explained
in
away now, though.
our parents' time, or at least their parents' time, you
Yeah.
figure a radio repairman or somebody just sold the radios could support an entire family.
Oh, yeah,
Have
yeah.
two cars in the garage of a 5 bedroom house and still send their kid to college. Right?
Yeah, so nowadays what you've got is a much higher cost of living. It takes a much larger percentage of your income
Yeah.
to maintain
Well,
the
that's
same
why I don't
lifestyle.
completely blame the younger crowd for
Oh no, yeah,
for
me
just
neither.
giving up. I mean, I
Oh,
know a lot
inflation
of
is
when we
eating
were
us.
kids, people like gave up because
Oh
they
yeah,
couldn't see a path, and even
inflation
then
is
stuff
eating.
was cheaper. But
Inflation is eating us alive. It's
yeah,
eating us alive. It's eating the working class
I mean, it's
alive.
getting to a point where like something's got to give. Like
Yeah.
we can't just keep paying more and more for stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, and
Nobody's gonna be able to
I
survive except for the 1% of the 1%.
yeah, to the
And
young out there or whatever, like I don't look down. I don't say like I feel bad for them because it's going to be tougher, right? It's getting
yeah,
tougher. It's going to be tougher. So I'm not like, oh, you know, I'm not down on them, right? I'm not like saying, hey, your generation kind of thing or whatever. But I'm also saying like that's no reason to give up
no,
because there's many places in the world that it's going to be much harder than it is here. I mean, Europe
yeah.
right now is, I mean, getting smashed. China right now is getting smashed economically. So don't think that that the world is at an end. It's all coming to an end and everything like that or whatever. Because it's going to you know who's going to be successful? It's going to be the hardworking people.
Yeah.
It's going to be the hardworking people are the
Or
ones
just,
that are going to succeed.
I don't know.
Like
just,
always.
just at this point, the working people.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how we can fix things. I think if more people were actually contributing
Yeah.
in a meaningful way,
Yeah.
just doing something.
I really I like that the young people are a little bit more tied in to the reality of what's going on now. I think this the youngest generation that's just now entering the workforce, the 18, 19, 20-year-olds, I've talked to several of them and they do have a better grip on the reality of the situation than I think like even our generation did. And for that, I think that that's kind of neat. I'm like, hey, you guys are a little bit wiser. You guys are a little bit more in tune with kind of what's going on here. But there's a large group in there where their expectations and stuff just they're not aligning right with the reality of it. But I'm not just picking on that age group
Well, I was
because
gonna say
that
it's probably
goes
hard for them to set realistic expectations in this world.
well. That's fair. I think
Jump
that's
up one
fair.
generation and they still don't. I guess what the millennials or
Yeah, millennials.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I hate the whole generation thing, but
I
it's
do
just a way
too.
to
Just another divisive thing to talk
yeah,
about.
because I think there's plenty of responsible millennials. I don't think that. I guess we're considered Gen X.
Well,
It depend on who's deciding that.
yeah.
But
My thought process is like, why can't we extol the virtues of like being a good man, right? Being a provider, be a good man, be a good woman, be good people, right?
yeah,
So why can't we just say, hey, look,
be respectful to each other
yeah,
in all your
be good,
relationships.
yeah, be
In
good to
life.
each other. Why can't we just say, hey, look, your expectations in life shouldn't be a financial expectation. Let's make it like, hey, I'm gonna work hard to take care of me and my family. I'm gonna make a family. I'm gonna create this new life, and I'm gonna support this new life, and I'm gonna make a better future than what's been handed to me. Because that's how you're gonna make a better future, right?
Yeah,
And if you do it that way, if you're like, hey, look, I'm going to make a better future. So I'm going to go and I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to spend time with my family. I'm going to spend time with my loved ones and my friends and make for a meaningful life. That right there is a much better goal than say, I want the Lambo and I want this fast car and I want this big house and I want to live on the beach and I want all the women or I want all the men looking at me or I want people to be jealous of me kind of mentality. It's like, no, that is a shallow existence and the likelihood of you achieving that is almost zero. I mean, it's so small. I mean, you would have to work incredibly hard to get that, unless you're just born into it, and then in which case you'll be miserable and you won't appreciate it anyway. But you could work your whole life, work super hard, and still not achieve that. And in order to not be miserable, I've worked hard my whole life. I'm not a millionaire. I've worked hard my whole life. I am happy just knowing that I'm virtually without debt, right? Like I don't have that sword hanging over my head in my 40s. I'm like, yeah, that's great. I feel good about that. I have a good relationship with my wife, and my family. My best buddy here is working with me, and
Where?
yeah, I don't know. And I've got my sister lives nearby, and my brother-in-laws, and my nieces and nephews. I love that that community and stuff. Like, to me, that's like a greater achievement than any amount of money could ever bring me, right?
Yeah.
You do need to make enough. You do need to provide. You do need to, I think, as a man, to feel sufficient. I believe that you do need to make enough, like to at the very least be self-sufficient. So if I was single, I'm taking care of at least myself, right?
Yeah.
Nobody else is having to take care of me, so I'm at least handling my own business. I can feel good. I'm taking care of myself. And then if I have a wife, I'm taking care of us. If I have kids, I'm taking care of us. And then you build on that. You build outward from yourself to help build systems for others, those that you care about. And now what we have is, it's just like, oh, aim for the sky, aim for all this false stuff, and this and I think this is where we get all this plastic surgery from, and everything else is because people convince themselves that the expectation of others around them are that you look a certain way,
Or
you dress a certain way.
or I don't know. What is it? Body dysmorphia or whatever we talked about last week?
Yeah, yeah.
I can't remember if it's dysmorphia or dysphoria, and I can't.
Well,
it's one or the other. But yeah, I think the media, has not helped with that. But we are still personally responsible for
oh
our
yeah.
actions, and
I just
we just need to try to rise up. Like
I just don't understand the modern, like, kind of twisting on, like, the body image stuff and everything like that. I'm not trying to insult anybody, because people are attracted to all different sizes and shapes and everything like that, or whatever, and stuff like that. So I'm not going to tell somebody what they do or don't like. Hey, I mean, if you like that, that's, well, I mean, whatever, that's what you like and stuff. But like nowadays, what I see is, like, there's like this push to try to say, like, oh, you're beautiful no matter what. And this is another sort of, to me, like, unrealistic expectation about stuff, because I think that telling somebody that, you're beautiful no matter what, I think is kind of cruel. I think it's cruel. I think you don't have to be mean about it. You don't have to be cruel and be like, oh, you're just, fat and you're terrible and you're ugly and everything like that. But your family and friends can be honest with you and be like, look, I love you. I'm worried about your heart exploding, or, you know what I mean? Like, I'm worried that.
Well, you would do that with any other, like, unhealthy thing for somebody.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
I think
I've done unhealthy
think
things in my life. People have said, hey man, you should quit that. And I'm like, yeah, you're right.
as somebody who's, like, dealt with, like, the vision of my body, I'm not going to self-diagnose myself as having, like, true body dysmorphia or whatever. But I know, like, 6'3", 140 pounds until I was like 35. Like, it doesn't help to, like, lie to somebody because they know better, Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, you look healthier. It's not that helpful, because they're still going to beat themselves up inside.
Yeah. And they
So
know
just the whole idea of accepting it or whatever is not healthy either. So maybe there is a better solution,
Well,
than
and-
just like, oh, we should just accept that. Like,
And this is why we say managing expectations, right? It's like, we're not. So you got the mom and the dad, right? You got that dynamic, right? One builds up your confidence and one kind of grounds you in reality, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the roles could be reversed depending on the family structure. But so when you have that, you want to tell people like, hey, look, you are somebody, you are important. You know, God put you here for a reason, or the universe put you here for a reason, if that's what you believe. And you tell that person, like, oh no, it's okay. No matter what you do, it's good, it's beautiful, it's acceptable, it's okay, and everything. And we've slid down. We didn't slide down the slope. We fell off the
Oh,
flipping cliff lately.
oh, I know.
And no, not everything is okay. No, not everything is healthy. No, not everything is beautiful. Okay? And I do believe that you know, we should be managing our expectations and not lying about it. Okay? Not lying. Now, does that mean I'm going to be going out here and getting in people's face and telling them that they're ugly and stuff like that? No. I don't think that's helpful either or anything like that. But groups of friends, people that are close to you or whatever, like they could say, you know, they could be like, you know, or parents, you know, or siblings or whatever, it'd be like, look, I'm worried about you. Want to make sure you're okay and everything like that. And if that person's happy where they're at, then that's okay. You say, okay, you're happy where you're at. You know, you've you know, that's where you're content at and you're at peace at and everything like that. That's okay. But to lie, to constantly lie to people and say this is a good and healthy, you know, expectation
Well,
of
then they're always
somebody.
going to expect that, and
Yeah.
when somebody comes along and says something, you know, to the contrary. But like I said, I can't speak for everybody, but I know more than one people I've talked to, like they'd rather like people be slightly more honest without being cruel than to just be fake. You
Yeah,
know,
and
like and right,
oh yeah, and it still hurts a little bit. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like you know, you got to have toughened up skin. People need to toughen up a little bit, and well, people need to toughen up a lot.
Well,
But
and on the flip side,
when somebody
extremely
says,
cruel people need to like think
"Oh yeah, yeah,
think
yeah,
about their actions. But
yeah," well, okay, I'll tell you a story. Right, best guy I ever worked with. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. I said one of the best guys I ever worked with was one of the first guys I ever worked with. I went to work shingle manufacturing plant. Dirty, nasty, tough job. I had some of the best industrial training in the world, bar none.
yeah,
Okay, and I enter into this thinking, you know, I'm a pretty sharp guy, pretty smart guy. You know, did maintenance assessment exams, got the highest scores anybody had ever seen. Passed the most that they'd ever seen in the Georgia statewide assessment exams. And I just blew it out of the water. So they were all happy about hiring me and stuff. And I'm sitting there coming in the door thinking, hey, I'm a pretty smart guy. I can do this, everything like that. And I'm going to tell you what, for the first year I worked with this guy, I was a dumb MFer about everything I touched because I didn't have the hands-on experience on a myriad of things,
yeah.
right? So, you know, I'd go do something and I didn't know the best way of doing it or something like that, but I'd still jump in and try and I'd still work at it no matter what. That's one of the things my boss appreciated about me. He goes, "Man, you'll jump both feet into a problem. You know, just fearless about jumping in. You're not scared to work on something." I'm like, "Yeah. I mean, it's already broke. Can't mess it up too much more." That's a lie. That's a lie.
Turn the water hose on the the
I
$10,000 PLC probably isn't.
Yep. You don't wire up motors for low voltage just to be safe because you're not certain that that it might blow up or not. So you wired it up for low voltage just to be on the safe side first.
Is that really a
That
thought
was
process you had?
yes. $11,000 motor later. Yep. Yep. So yeah, we make our mistakes
Yeah.
and we have to be allowed to make our mistakes and have the humility to accept that, we're not geniuses in everything we touch. We don't know everything. We may be wrong in things. And it's okay to not be the best at everything. It's okay to not be the fastest, most handsomest.
Now hold on. I'm the best at everything I do in my own mind.
That's right. That's right. In my own mind. But yeah, I like to try to manage my expectations about things as well, and I've learned that more and more as time's gone on. Is like you set goals, and if you achieve the goal in a shorter period of time, you get really, you get excited about it. If you don't achieve the goal or it takes a little bit longer than you were expecting or whatever, you can accept that's just the reality of it. And then if it doesn't happen altogether and stuff, you go back and you take a look and say, okay, what mistakes were made? Were my expectations too high or whatever? And you don't internalize it and make it like an emotional, like it doesn't crush you.
Yeah.
You're tougher than that. You're just tougher than that because the world's sent you some hard knocks along the way. Life is not fair. Life is certainly not fair, and has and will test you so many different ways.
Well, if you set your expectations low enough, life will never disappoint you.
That's right.
That's my motto.
So here's where I achieve, but my expectations were right here. So that's why I'm always happy.
Yep.
Set them low, man. Set them low.
I'm an overachiever.
Yeah, I'm an overachiever because
I did a thing.
Because I got out of bed today.
To not doing a thing.
All right, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and take it out now. This is just about talk about manage expectations, trying to keep it light-hearted. I think it kind of fits in with what has been going on in the world around us for a while and everything. Appreciate your time. Please like and subscribe. Tune into some of our other episodes. Jeremiah, take us out.
Manage your expectations well. Thinking for yourself about anything important to you. Goodbye now.
Very well.